Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. We have made it. We have made it to the Furniss Fast Lane. And the first thing you're going to notice is like, hey, where's Don Brady? Where in the world is Don Brady? About an hour ago, probably an hour and a half ago, his flight was delayed, so he will not be on the show. I apologize to everyone that you're not going to see his bright and smiley face, but you will see mine. We'll make this episode pretty short without him here. So we'll go through the key takeaways of the episode that's dropped. And Peter, you 100% are the first one, buddy. So Peter, always thank you for support, buddy. Yes, early bird catches the worm. I am glad you're here. The commentary is going to be myself and you and anyone else who joins. So it'll be a much shorter episode this time for sure, without our special guest of Don Brady here. And while he says he is delayed, I really think he's still at the Browns. Cleveland had an incredible game last night. For those who watch or in the football, incredible game. I was not going to lie. Like, I usually stay up pretty late. I was passed out like fourth quarter, halfway through the fourth quarter, but I did watch most of it. So that's while he says he's working, I really think that's where he is. Jeff, good to see you, buddy. Always great to see you. You're bright and smiley, I'll say emoji face. And I love reading all your posts, Jeff. They make me laugh all the time. So the ones are like, missed it by that much. Really appreciate it, buddy. How's everyone doing? It has been a crazy little bit here. We had MRC. Well, we'll get into Don's episode that just dropped here in a little bit here. And oh my God, Roberto, how are you doing, buddy? Hola to you, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you. Been a minute since seeing your face there, bud. So we were at MRC, and it was, I happened to be in Florida for work for about a week, and then had MRC with the conference. That's always fun, exciting, huge, just thanks and gratitude to the entire Pash family that putting that conference on. They always do an incredible job. It was a concert, so it kind of was a concert, and when you think about it, a lot of fun. There was adult beverages involved, a lot of laughs. Might not remember some of it, stuff like that. And Peter, with Elmo, so what you don't know, Peter, is that I had a good friend introduce me to those Elmo reels. I can't even talk. Before we started getting started here and I hit the go live, I'm like, all right, bro, you can do this, like motivational talk, pump up myself to try to get, bring the energy today. Cause it's between having like sub-zero Siberia weather outside. If you saw yesterday and how much I love you all to do that, it wasn't even a walk and talk. It was just walk and freeze yesterday or walk around my balcony. But Peter, no, to your point is, I was introduced to the Elmo Reels probably about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. And I was laughing. I like, where has this been all my life? Like, it makes everything so much better. And I see like, I've got a couple of friends that said, well, all we do, we have an entire conversation based on Elmo Reels. And Larry, Mr. Fellman, how are you? Are you still over at Scott Honda right now, buddy? Or are you hopefully home? Hopefully you're not freezing to death like we are here. It's so cold, and I love Chicago, but I'm just not ready for this at all. Like, I came in from, like I said, beautiful Florida, where it was just, you're on the beach. It's it's fantastic to come back to Siberia. But a couple things with MRC, once again, just a huge shout out to the entire Passion organization, PCG, Brian and his team out there. They did a great job. Always put on an incredible conference, and if you're unfamiliar with it, it is one's a great conference, but two, it's just, man, the hotel is amazing. I just had a hell of a time and always learning stuff, meet new people. And there's so many times, as we've talked about before in conferences, where you've seen someone before and you're like, oh, I've seen you on, social, or I've seen your post on LinkedIn or whatever it might be. And then actually having to have that human connection where you can shake the hands and be able to actually talk to the person and be like, hey, you're a real person. I had no idea. So always good with that. Great content. I'm sure the question is going to be asked, like, wait, I thought you were going to stream live. We were going to stream live. We had a little bit of a hiccup. So, and some scheduling issues, we'll go with that. So, Dan and I'm sure we'll do another one at some point where when Dan and I get in the same room together, things go off the rails real quick, and we torture people. So we'll probably do that again here shortly. It just, they did not work out at MRC, but to be continued on that one, we will do another one for sure and get everyone involved with that. But other than that, I mean, how's everyone prepping? We got Thanksgiving around the corner. Like, it is, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that Thanksgiving is next week. And I'm having a really, really rough time with that. And Peter, to your point, how did live shows go? Well, as it turns out, they didn't go. So we were all set up. We just had a few technical glitches, we'll say the least. So didn't go, but I mean, we would have went and tortured people. So next time for sure, we'll torture people. Hell, we'll probably get Dan and the team back on here for one of these shows and just torture people in general, because we're pretty good at that stuff. So, but like I said, Thanksgiving on the corner. How are sales going for you? How has November been for you? We're almost out of this and somehow into December, which is just nuts to me. I can't wrap my head around that one at all. and glitches, got stitches. Man, there were some stitches involved there, Mr. Ravella, like 100%. Like, and you know what it's like the minute you try to go live, everything breaks. And like we were good on equipment wise, there were just a few other things that took place that did not happen. But yeah, I was helping a friend, my good friend Tara Rigo. She had one of the first workshops. I think it was like the first day, and was trying to get all of her stuff set up. I'm like, whatever you do, I'm just going to tell you right now, you can prep all you want. The minute you hit that go live button, something's going to break. Like you just can't plan for the shit that happens when you go live. It's one night like this is all live, so stuff can happen. But the pre-record is just a lot easier. Had my good friend Lori Halter on the show. We recorded her episode, which is dropping sometime in December. And I just go, the great thing about pre-recording is you can go back and fix all these things. So anywhere you screw up, or hey, the teleprompter stopped working, or whatever it may be, or hey, I probably should have said that, we can edit that post edit. So it makes things a lot easier. So, all right, let's jump into this. And always happy birthday to Jeff. In fact, Jeff, I'm kind of surprised it took Peter to say happy birthday versus you, buddy. But I do laugh anytime someone new is on the show, Jeff, and they're like, oh, happy birthday. I'm like, yeah, it's his birthday all the time. He's just a gift to the world at this point. So, okay. So we had the episode with Don that just dropped yesterday. I love always talking with him. For those that don't know Don Brady, maybe living under a rock. He is all over social media. Don, when you go back and watch this, keep me honest in this one. I believe how he got into like shipping cars is that he went to NADA one year and was just like, hey, I'm going here to find a job. And that's how he got into the shipping of cars. And it's just, for everyone that follows him, it's always entertaining to see his post and what he's putting out there, and the comical images, and how everything, it doesn't matter, everything from, Men in Black. I mean, I've seen just about everything out there that his creator does. And we talked about that on the show as well, just because it is a lot of fun. And for those who don't know as well, like he spends, I forget the number of hours he said, but he spends hours going through and like liking people's social media posts, and not just liking, but actually leaving a comment. And for those that don't know as well, we had Robin Wilson on the show a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about this, of how it's one thing to like something, like, yeah, that's great, you engage with it. When you leave a comment or share something, it means so much more to the person, but also to the algorithm that people are interacting with it. So the fact that he goes through and spends hours just having his little emojis there is, for someone like me, I'm like, I can't appreciate that enough, because I know what that means. So it's always so good to help other people. And I guess we had a hell of a time talking. First time I think we actually met was in Tampa, a digital dealer 2 years ago, probably something like that. And he's one of those people that are actually better in person than you see online, which is sometimes very difficult to surpass that bar. But some of the things we talked about, I didn't know that he was a trainer on top of everything else. I didn't know he was with Paul, not the right name there. Try that one more time. With Fred and Lou, the solution, the car coffee guys. I had no idea he was with them. So that actually happened, I guess. Well, the newest announcements, it was like probably like within 48 hours of us recording the show. So we talked all about the training, just how important it is. And I know that sounds maybe redundant, like training is important. Yeah, of course it is. But how many times we get thrown into a new job, or we see our business is like, hey, oh, so your onboarding process is just go sit in front of that computer for the next 3 hours, and then you know everything you know to know about our product. That happens all the time. So we talked a lot about just why it's that lifeline of success, be a successful dealership. We talked about how the transparency portion, and that term gets thrown around so much. That is like buzzword bingo. And Peter, yes, he is Don. He is 100% the man on that one. 100%. When we talked about transparency and how it builds trust with not only the employees, but with the customers, and having those lifetime customers makes a huge difference when you have that transparency. And not just, oh, we tell them what it is. Well, because that term is thrown on so much, whether it's, hey, we have transparent our DR tool that we don't use anymore. Oh, well, the price is this, but it's really this. Oh, if you actually go ask this person, the price is better. Oh, if you want the price here, I mean, whatever. I keep saying price, but even in social media, like being transparent of who you are. Hey, we're talking all about how much we love animals, when in fact we actually can't stand dogs. Like, we're allergic to dogs. We don't even like dogs. All these little things make it so whether the customer wants to do business with you, and the customer, whether you want to admit or not, the customer is going to social media to see who you are and what you represent. And is it everything that you're portraying on a commercial, or, hey, all I can see on your Facebook page is you trying to sell me. Well, that tells me that when I get there that you're just going to probably sell me. So all these little things tell a story, and keeping that fully, I don't want to use the words transparent again, but the same concept of like, hey, I know who they are and I feel I connect with them. And before I got on here, I'll joke about this, but Tito's, I love my Tito's, yes. Sometimes too much, let's be honest, but their marketing is incredible. And I'll buy all of their merchandise because it just speaks to me, and it's funny, it's relatable. And while social is very important and you want to be funny and relatable, but I also know that for anyone that doesn't know, they're very, very dog friendly. Now, I don't have a dog, but that speaks to them as well. If you think of Subaru is the same thing. Don ships nearly everything but C and okay. Sorry. There's space there, but can you ship Tito's? I don't know. That's a good question, Peter. I know that Tito's can ship Tito's. That's all I care about. And in fact, there was a Tito's. Here's my rebranding logo. Jeff for the win. For those that are listening but not watching, Jeff just goes, "Here's my new rebranded logo. That's Jaguar," and that's a hot topic there, to say the least. There's been some very interesting commentary coming on that. Like, yes, it's a cluster. Like, it's not even, yeah. But there's been some other ones I'm like, well, we went off the rails real quickly on that. But that is for anyone that has a Jaguar dealership, I'm just sorry that you got to deal with this. And you're going to have you got to make sure everything has that logo now. And it does. Like, there were some really, really funny comments about this. So I'll just leave it at that. But that's a rough logo. I'm sorry, Jaguar ships. I'm so sorry. What else can we talk about here? I've got my notes over here. Using tools and tracking results. So as you're going through and saying, okay, hey, I look at success like most dealerships do. And did I sell more cars? Did I move more metal? Do I have more cars in the dealership? Do I have more dollars per hour? Those at the end of the day are really what matters. All those other metrics are great. Yeah, we drove more traffic to the website. Great. But did you move more cars? Because the traffic, so looking at those tools and saying all the stuff that we're invested in, is it actually generating some type of result? So, hey, we have an ad agency and they're doing a great job, or then all of a sudden we think they're not doing a good job. But really, when you look at it, well, you have better quality stuff coming into your dealership, but it's the process in-house. Or the flip side, you have so many leads coming in, or so many whatever coming into the site or to your systems, but yet you're not closing them. Well, let's take a look. Maybe it's because the traffic coming into you is just crap. Quality over quantity. I cannot stress enough, quality over quantity on that one. Peter says, Jeff saw the commercial. Peter and Jeff, there's actually I can't remember who did it, but it was a hilarious play on the commercial of someone trying to explain why it's, it was all satirical, but why it was so great. I probably watched it 3 or 4 times easily. And it's so freaking funny on that one. But going through this, holding people accountable and inspecting what you expect. Obviously, as a company, a CEO of a company that's product agnostic, and all we do is hold vendors accountable. This is something I see all the time, is that so-and-so is going to get blamed without doing due diligence to figure out why that's the case. Is it really vendor A's problem, and did they really screw things up? Or maybe it's your process in-house. Maybe it's a combination. Maybe you're on the wrong page. Maybe there's so many different things to go through and say, okay, what is the real issue here? And then get to it. Okay, instead of pointing fingers and just saying, hey, well, there's been multiple times where I've had to eat my words or my thoughts, I'll say, that I didn't verbalize, to say that I thought the problem was X, when in fact the problem was A. I wasn't even close, but it wasn't until I did my due diligence to figure out, hey, this is what's causing the issue versus what I thought it was. Or back to this, what I felt it was. The fact of the matter was that it was something else. Quality over quantity every single time. I will take 100 leads that I'm going to close at 30% versus 1,000 leads, which I'm going to close at 2%. It's, in the words of Ron Burgundy, it's science. It's science. So yeah. So those are the 3 main takeaways I had from the show. Like I said, I was going to keep this pretty brief today without my counterpart and my sidekick with Don Brady, which I'm sure that he will go through and comment on every one of these comments that are coming in right now. And yeah, aside from that, how's everyone doing? Are you having any major plans for Thanksgiving? You do anything fun? Maybe taking some moment to yourself to do nothing and watch some football, sit back and do nothing. That's mainly what I will be doing, is just honestly probably catching up on work and relaxing is the main goal on Thursday, just to do absolutely nothing. Except for a little bit of work, but it will probably also be so cold that I won't be able to feel my fingers. So with that, everyone, like I said, I want to make this pretty brief today. And Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I've got next week will be off just because of Thanksgiving. Then we're back on the following week. I cannot remember who's on next that week after. I want to it might be Kelly Reese, maybe I can't remember, but it's someone pretty awesome. So look forward to that. And with that, everyone have a great rest of your week. Have a fantabulous, was not a word, a fantastic, fabulous, awesome Thanksgiving. And I know we always close the show with, find a way to serve, do something to make brighten someone's day. And that is a message that is so ingrained in my soul from a very young age. And that's a lot of times what's great. We do November, we do the season gratitude, attitude of gratitude and season of gratitude. But we forget that it's just they'll just do it for a month or for 12 days or 10 days. And just, if I could say one thing, is just to continue that throughout every day of your life, to continue to say, hey, how can I help someone? How can I serve someone? Keep that attitude of gratitude in your mind of like, hey, things may suck right now and they're really bad, but wait a second. Do I have lights on at my place right now? Do I have running water? If you've got to think really sometimes super basic when life gets crazy. So just take a moment to say, hey, these are the top 5 things of gratitude. If you can't think of 5, think of 1. And every single day, think of something for which you're grateful. And then as always, find a way to serve today. I don't care if it's opening a car door. I don't care if it's a kind smile. Just do something to brighten someone's day to day and just bring a little bit more joy in their life. And with that, everyone, we will see everyone not next week, but in 2 weeks with a brand new episode. We'll see you all then. Have a good one. Bye-bye.